welcome to Being Power Woman, the talk show. I am so happy that you can join us in our first episode in our fourth season. And we're going to have this season amazing women from all around the world who are doing amazing things, helping other women or helping people, helping their community. So like we have done in all the other seasons, let's get to it. Let's get to know these women, what they're doing, what was their story, what is their motivation, and of course, how they can help you. So stick them to the end, because at the end, they're going to be talking about where you can contact them, and that information is very important. So today we have Orlena. She is right now in Spain. So hi and welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on 4 seasons. And I'm super honored to be the first person that you have on your 4th season.
It is very nice. So Orlena, we have been talking a little bit, but of course, our people don't know who you are and what you do. So let's get to that part first. Who you are and what exactly you do.
Okay, fabulous. So I am from the UK. I trained as a pediatric doctor. And then 11 years ago, we moved to Spain. And I always say, hey, I moved with my eyes wide shut. I thought I was just going to come here and carry on working and be a doctor. Long story, that didn't quite happen. And what I did was turn to the internet to do different things. And I started off teaching kids how to eat healthily. So a lot of people had problems with picky eating, and I have 4 children of my own. 2 of them were super picky. And that was really my focus on how do we help our children to eat healthily. Mm-hmm. Now, a few years ago, I changed what I did, partly because one of the main issues is, in order to teach your kids healthy eating, you have to be eating healthily yourself. And lots of people weren't eating healthily themselves. So now what I do is I help busy women. Are there any other types of women? But, you know, busy women who exactly who want to transform their lives. They want to lose weight, they want to get more energy, and they want to do it all in a way that is healthy. So long-term health is really important. And I teach them how to transform their lives so that they can do all of those things and really love it, and for it to be easy, so that it's not about yo-yo dieting and depriving yourself. It's about creating a lifestyle that you truly love and you enjoy doing, that supports your weight loss and your health goals.
Yeah, I need more information on that department. So what was your motivation? I mean, it was about your kids, that they were like being picky at the moment they were eating, or did you like really identify that there was a problem?
Well, I think health has always been important to me, in that, you know, I trained as a doctor and I loved being a doctor. Now, if we look at doctoring, what doctoring does is really helps people who are already ill. And I remember, you know, working in a busy hospital in the UK. I did a little bit of adult medicine. That's how we train. I did a bit of adult medicine before I did pediatrics, and looking and thinking, so many people are in this hospital because of lifestyle illnesses. Now, back at that moment, I just kind of carried on going. And now when I look back, and I just think there is so much that we can do to help ourselves lead a healthy life, to change our, you know, are you going to get diabetes? Are you going to have a heart attack? All of these things, we have so much input, and people don't really realize the amount of input that they have. They don't realize the big difference that they can make. And it's not about doing complicated things. In my mind, the key piece is really about habits. And what happens is people get into habits of the way they eat and the way they move and how they lead their life. And so what I want to show people is that you can take those habits and you can create healthy habits. That's the doing it without thinking piece, so that, you know, you're loving your life, you're enjoying your life, but you're doing things in a healthy way, so that you don't have to go to doctors. You don't have to go and see my colleagues, because who wants to do that? But I think people don't really realize. And, you know, I think of myself as a doctor who teaches you to avoid doctors, because we don't want doctors in our life. We just want to be enjoying our lives.
Yeah. And I think that the perfect thing here is the balance. The balance that we have can equals having a better life, or a better health. And for example, here in the community, the Latina community, we eat very, very bad. I mean, we eat a lot of food with a lot of things in it. And of course, that affects our life. But at the same time, we ignore what happens in our family. For example, I have family member who have high pressure, who have problem in their hearts, cancer. I have in my family diabetes. Okay, I have a lot of things in my family. But you know what? My mind is right now like, I'm done. I'm not gonna have. That's not gonna happen to me. And
Yeah.
no, and that's the way they teach us. Like we only go to the doctor just when we feel bad or when we're sick, and not having that healthy lifestyle, it affects maybe in the future what we're doing with our life, right?
Yeah, and I think the reality is humans are hugely sociable, and we do what the people around us are doing. And if we take a step back and look at, well, how have we got ourselves in this situation? You know, there's a lot of factors out there which contribute. You know, the way society is at the moment, it's, you know, part of human nature is to want to seek glucose, you know, to get food. That is part of our drive that we have that years ago kept us alive. But you know, that years ago, it was going out collecting blackberries. I've just been blackberry picking with my children today. Oh, blackberry picking is hard work here in Spain. The sun is shining, the prickles get you. It's, you know, you get a few blackberries for that craving. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's so easy to go and get really cheap food that is full of processed, not great stuff. And there's no sort of in between. It's so easy to do it. And so that's one of the factors. You know, another factor is that these big companies, they spend so much money and time and effort working out how to get us to eat those foods. They do experiments and, you know, they get that bliss point, which is the cream, the sugar, the salt, so that you go, this is amazing.
Yes.
And then your body gets used to that kind of food instead of the kind of food that we would have been eating actually not that long ago, you know, within our parents' memory of when there wasn't quite so much processed food. And there was a bit of processed food, but most people were cooking and, you know, eating vegetables and things like that. Whereas now society's busy, and food comes down the line. It's not like we all say, do you know what? Part of our day is creating the food that we are going to eat. That isn't the priority for a lot of people.
And so for single moms that are busy, that are running and doing things in their job, or the ones that are entrepreneur, I mean, what is the easiest thing to do? I'm going to stop in the drive-through and buy some food and we're going to eat. I mean, the important thing is to eat, right? So we're going to eat whatever we find, because we're always running. But I had a friend that she's in fitness and nutrition and everything else. And she said that it's very important that, for example, Sundays, we sit down and prepare what we're going to be cooking during the week. So in that way, we're not going to be like maybe moving to those drive-through. I mean, it could happen because it could happen. But at the same time, you're going to start to prepare your meals. So I've been doing that. I'm not being like super restricted with it, but I'm trying. But I think that it's like you say, we're so busy running. And of course, we see this amazing advertisement in the TV and we're like, oh, I want to go there. And our mind is playing with us that we need to have fun, we have to drink, we have to eat on a sport bar or whatever we are. So yeah, it is very difficult. So what would be your advice? I mean, how can maybe women, especially women who are maybe the household, teach their kids and even their spouses of eating better?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I think the number one, you know, thinking about how to teach other people how to do it, the number one thing you can do is demonstrate it yourself. And, you know, there's different aspects to that. But one of the aspects is it's difficult to change people, particularly if you're talking about your spouse. If they're not keen on changing, you've got an uphill battle there. Now, if they're keen on changing, then you can do things together. But really what you want to be doing is saying, okay, I'm going to prioritize my own health. And that has so many benefits for other people, not least of all your children. who are going to see you doing all of these healthy things, but also you're going to turn up in a different way. And one of the things I really notice working with people is what the first thing that people notice is that their energy levels go up when they start looking after themselves in terms of what they eat and movement and sleep. Their energy levels go up. They show up in a different way. And it's almost like you create this upward spiral. You feel a bit better, then it's easier for you to cook because you've got more energy to cook. And then it's easier for you to go out and go for a walk or do a little bit of exercise because you feel in a better place. And it's these little changes that you just need to keep, grasping hold of and acknowledging those. Now, the flip side of that is it's easy to go down the negative plug hole, like you get sucked into that negative space of, oh my goodness, I can't do anything. Everything I do is wrong. The stress, the guilt, all of those things. Then it's easy for it to go down, So for example, you wake up, you feel okay, your children jump on your head. This is what happens in my house. And then you get a little bit grumpy because you're not looking after yourself. And then you might eat a breakfast, which is less healthy. And then you feel guilty about it. But you can see how it's easy for it to go one step down that plug hole. So, I think it's all about creating those habits and those systems. And, you were talking about meal prepping. That's a really amazing habit to have, but it is a habit. And you have to create that habit. And what happens to a lot of people is they start making a habit and then life happens. Life is always lifing, I say. Something happens. And then the old habits come back. And that's when people start to think, oh my goodness, there's something wrong with me. It didn't work for me. No. It's just that your old habits are stronger than your new habits. And the way you change your habits is you create new habits. So with your meal prep, you might find, okay, I've done it for 2 weeks. Amazing. And then you get busy and then you forget to meal prep. That's okay. It's just get back on track and keep meal prepping. Then you do another 2 weeks and then you stop. But if you keep coming back, eventually that meal prep habit, you'll look back and go, I've been meal prepping for 5 years and it's just what I do. I do it without thinking in the same way I brush my teeth. And that's how habits really happen. So it's all about creating those habits.
Yeah, it's like some people that go to the gym, they start very hard, 5 days a week, 1 hour, and they're very amazing. And then next week they're like, oh, I can't go on Monday. So they show up on Tuesday, but then the other week they're like, I didn't show Monday and Tuesday. And they said, you know what? I'm a quitter. I'm not going to go back. Yeah. And it is okay even to show one day because you're doing something different and then creating that habit. So let's talk about your service, your programs. Do you have a book, a program? How do you help people?
I have everything.
Okay.
I have absolutely everything. So, I have free resources. I have my podcast and I have an amazing video, which is the 5 mindset shifts that I teach my clients to lose weight, end emotional eating, and lead a high energy life. And it's really those steps that you need to take in order for it to work. And I'll give you a hint. One of them is you need to make a commitment. You can't do it unless you make a commitment. So it's the 5 sort of mindset shifts that people have. Then I have what I call my tier 2 products, which are, sort of low end, do it yourself. I've got a book. I've got an end emotional eating program, which is at the moment $27. And that actually includes my book comes as a bonus with that. And that's everything you need if emotional eating is one of your issues. And to be perfectly honest, if weight is an issue, most people have an element of emotional eating there. They're eating for comfort, really, whatever that looks like. And this program teaches you how to recognize that and how to change that. And then I have my high end, I will help you transform your life from frustrated, tired, unhappy with your weight to, oh my goodness, I love my life. I'm doing all of these things. The weight is falling off and I just do it all naturally. And that's my group coaching program. And it's a lifetime group coaching. It's an amazing program. I love it. And if you're interested, I'll have a chat with you. And, I invite people to chat and tell people about it.
Okay. Very nice. Last advice that you would like to give to our women.
You can do it. You can do it. I think it's, as I say, that number one step is really making that commitment. So you can make that commitment right now. It doesn't mean you have to change things tomorrow. I always think about when I decided I was going to move from the UK to Spain, and I made that commitment. You know, it took a lot of conversation with my husband because we were deciding where to go. And we made this commitment, we're going to move to Spain. And for a year, people would say to me, hey, so when's the Spain move happening? And I would say, in May, it's happening in May. And they would say, well, what's going on? And I would say, nothing, we're moving in May.
Okay.
So for outward purposes, there was no difference, but inside I knew that it was going to happen. Now I hadn't worked out all the hows, how am I going to make this happen? It was just, yep, I am going to do this. And so once you've made that commitment to yourself, you can work out the hows. Do you want to coach? Do you want to not coach? Do you want to do it by yourself? What exactly are you going to eat? What's your exercise going to be? All of that stuff doesn't matter. The main important thing is that you commit to yourself to making those changes.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. So how can people contact you?
Well, thank you for asking. So I have my podcast, which is Fit and Fabulous and Beyond. And my website is Dr. Orlena. And if you go there, it will tell you to contact me and sign up for various freebies. All of those things.
And I will have the links actually in this video and the podcast and also in our YouTube channel. So you can hit that link and go directly to her page and see the amazing things that she is sharing for free, the other ones that are paid, and of course, taking control of your moment right now. That is the main thing. Take control. So thank you so much for your time and for all of this information. It was amazing to talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you. And all of you, I hope you can join us next week here in Being Power Woman, the talk show.